So there I am, sitting in my dorm room, going, oh my gosh, what did I just do? I want to help you avoid that feeling by sharing with you 5 things that I and many other people that I've talked to wished that they knew before they moved to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hello again, everybody. My name is Andrew Geiwitz. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 things that I wish I knew when I moved to Green Bay, Wisconsin. I have not moved to Green Bay once. I've actually moved here twice. And so I definitely feel like I have some things to share about that experience. And I've also talked to a lot of other people as they've made the move to Green Bay and asked them about what they wish they knew when they moved to Green Bay. And so our top 5 list here is going to be a compilation of things that I wish I knew and other things that people have shared with me. Real quick before we jump into that content, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that little bell to get alerts for when we release new stuff so that you can stay on top of our videos as they come out and continue to learn more about Green Bay and the surrounding areas. Okay, well, let's get into it. One of the things that I wish that I knew before I moved to Green Bay was just the feel of the community as a whole. And I obviously know that there's people that this doesn't relate to, but what I experienced when I came here was just that there was sort of a tight-knit, maybe more private feel to the community towards outsiders or new people coming into the community. And like I said, that's not the case with everybody, but that was an experience that I had, and just going, okay, how do I break into a community that has a lot of historical roots and local kind of feel to it, where people have been here maybe generationally, and it's maybe not as much that in and out kind of environment where there's people moving here and leaving here all the time, and maybe more of a active big city kind of feel, but more so kind of a tight-knit community feel, which has a lot of good things about it. But in this case, it was a challenge for me to kind of break into that. And I would say it maybe even took me years to really feel like I was kind of immersed in the community and getting to know it and be comfortable in it. And so I point that out as you think about moving to Green Bay and what you need to know. Just be ready for that transition. I think that's true anywhere, but I think especially, moving to Green Bay, be ready for that transition to get involved in the community and just kind of take one step after another. Don't get too frustrated and just really get comfortable with the city and the community and let it all kind of warm up, but it will take time. And so just be prepared for that. Another thing to know when moving to Green Bay, Wisconsin is just the layout of the city. It wasn't like any that I had lived in the past. And what I mean by that is, if you look at it on a map, what you'll see is this large highway circle that kind of surrounds the main portion of the city. And that's a really helpful lifeline as far as getting around the city and kind of going from one part to the other. But what I didn't think about before I moved here was just how broad and wide the scale of this city is. And so I can remember I moved here originally as a student going to the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. And I remember living on campus there and then wanting to go to Best Buy or some other store. And that was on the exact opposite side of town. And at best, even on the highway, it was taking me like 15, 20 minutes sometimes to get over there, and then another 20 to get back. And so you can imagine with somebody with a limited amount of time in their day because of school and classes and working, that can eat up a lot of the free time that you have. So something to consider when moving to Green Bay, and something I wish I knew, was just how broad the city was, because it would affect where I chose to live in regards to the city. Living in the middle of the city, living on one of the sides of their city where you kind of know, okay, this is what my commute is going to be. This is how it's going to split the city in half if I live in the middle, and I can get to both sides in 10 minutes versus 20. Or, I want to live in a certain part of the town, and okay, I know the things that I value are in that area, so it's not a big deal to me. Just that layout of the city and how broad and wide it is was one of the things that I definitely wish I knew. So like I said earlier, I originally moved to Green Bay to go to the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. And that's actually one of the things that I wish I knew when I moved here, was just the location of that university in regards to the rest of the city. So if this is kind of the city of Green Bay, the circle, and if you look at a map, it's kind of, maybe like a rectangle kind of look to the city itself surrounded by the highway. Well, the university is up in the corner here, kind of on its own up here. It's surrounded by woods and a little bit more separate than I first knew. And so I really wish I would have known that, because it would have helped me just be prepared for maybe the more isolated experience that I was having on campus there versus maybe what you'd typically expect from a university campus, where it would be in the heart of the city or really blended with the city. In this case, the university sort of stands alone in the side corner there of the city map, and it takes a little more effort and planning to go about from there. It is possible. I definitely did it. I enjoyed my time at the university, but it was a shock when I originally moved here. So if you're a student moving here, or you are a family member of a student who's moving here, that's just something to consider, and another reason why I would recommend some sort of transportation option for them, like a car that they would bring to school, instead of just relying on, I don't know, you can't walk to the grocery store very easily, I'll just say that. Another thing that I wish I knew before moving to Green Bay was just the sort of feel of the city as far as nightlife and entertainment and things go. Now, this is a city that has a professional sports franchise, other sports related things, performing arts venues, the university and all the entertainment that can offer. And so it does have entertainment options, but I've known a lot of people, and I've even felt this myself from time to time, who have kind of felt like, okay, the city is just lacking a little bit in that nightlife entertainment value. And so that's something that I'll point out. You may feel a drop off in that if you're coming from somewhere that's like a larger city where you have just ample opportunities to go and do this and that and lots of variety. Green Bay may be a little more limited in variety of entertainment and things that it can provide. All that to say though, I love the city. I feel like I get to do a lot of the things that I enjoy, and so I don't personally feel that lack as much. But just in talking to lots of people over the 10 plus years that I've lived here, that's been a common thing that they've brought up, that there's just seems to be a lack of some entertainment value for them. The last thing that many people tell me they wish they knew, and I can't say I felt this one personally because I'm a very avid football fan and I love the Packers, and so I've known from a long time back that Green Bay was called the frozen tundra. And so you could probably guess what number 5 is going to be on the things that people wish they know before moving to Green Bay. And that's the temperature. The weather here, it can get downright cold. And you can ask anybody about that. It is really cold. I looked up the weather data from the government agencies that report that, and the average, this is the annual average high temperature for Green Bay, is 58 degrees, I believe. 58, that's the average high. Now that's obviously an average, and so on typical summer, we're gonna have 80, 90 degree days, but the winters, man, we're gonna have some cold days. Sub-zero temperatures, really cold, lots of snow. I think our average snowfall is somewhere in the 20 to 30 inches range. So if you're moving here and you haven't experienced snow, you will. And so that's just something to make you aware of as you consider moving to Green Bay. Just be prepared for the weather, primarily the cold and the winter, because it is something that you'll need to adapt to and be prepared for. You cannot come here without a winter jacket, or if you do, make sure you buy one really quickly, just because it's a big part of the environment in the place, and you can definitely adapt to it. People love it and enjoy it, but it's going to be a shock if you're not prepared for it. So I wanted to make sure to tell you that you need to know that before you move to Green Bay. So those are my top 5 things that I wish that I knew and other people wish they knew before moving to Green Bay, Wisconsin. I bet if you're somebody who's already moved here, you might have some things that you wish that you knew before moving here. Well, would you go ahead and share maybe your top 5 list in the comments section below? or just post 1 or 2 of them, whatever you want to. But I would love to get your feedback just to better understand the nature of people moving to Green Bay and what kind of things are a shock to them as they do that. It really helps me actually take better care of my clients and people that I work with in my industry. And also I just want to be able to pass it along to you as, you know, maybe we do an updated list of the next top 5 things that our comment section wishes that people knew or something like that. And so it'd just be really valuable if you shared your feedback that way. Like I mentioned in the opening, I'm a local real estate agent here in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area. If you're moving here and you want that local help, please contact me. Take a look at the description and the notes below the video, and it has my contact information in there. Reach out to me. I'd love to work with you to help you find the right place in this city for you and help you buy a house in this city and get you connected to community and people in this city who can help you make the most of your time in Green Bay. I wanted to make sure to pull that out there for you so that you have one friend already as you think about moving to Green Bay, and we'll kind of go from there. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure to hit that little bell so you can get notified of when new videos are released, just to help you continue to get to know this city better as I get to know this city better. Well, as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again later.